Hi guys, so today is going to be my May monthly reset. I've just been in such a funk recently and I don't know if anyone else feels the same. I feel like it's been like a weird Q1, and also I've been moving like totally across the country. I moved from Vancouver to Ottawa in February, so it meant January, February, March was all about moving, and I feel like I'm finally in a spot to get back into routine. And let's get into this monthly reset for May. And now if you're feeling in a funk and like you can't do everything right now, I highly recommend one, like maybe following along with this or writing it down. I've cut down my big monthly reset that I was using last year and just doing an achievable, manageable version for when I'm feeling a bit out of routine. So what we're gonna do first, and I have my laptop down here if I'm looking down here, start with something positive. We're going to look at my monthly accomplishments for April. I'm just gonna like speak it out and chat with you guys. I want this to be really chatty and like not too planned. So if I open up my Google Cal, that's always a good way to see what I've done this month. My monthly accomplishments, if you don't know, is just something I do. It's a page in my bullet journal where I write down everything I've either achieved that month, something I've sort of worked hard for that's come into my life, or that like I've achieved, it's an accomplishment, or just even memories, things that have happened that I want to remember from the month. The reason I started doing this was in COVID. I felt like so much time was passing and I wasn't doing anything. You know, you're still doing a lot every day, so you are doing things. So I started doing this to recognize how much I'm doing and like be a bit more intentional and like look back on things. I've been doing this since 2020. I think it's very useful even if I haven't done a lot that month. Okay, one thing I've definitely done is getting to know some more people in Ottawa, feeling a lot more settled. I feel like I know the areas, and I've been planning some really cool days out with Jake, and we've been exploring Ottawa and I've been absolutely loving it. If anyone's wondering how moving's going, it's great. Completely surpassed my expectations of how I thought it was going to be. We are going to Parc Omega, which is over in Quebec. We're doing that before the end of April, but when I'm filming this, we haven't been yet, so that will be an accomplishment for the month. Another way I like to do this is look through my photos for the month. My bullet journal's in my office, but if I had my bullet journal here, I would also just look at like my to-do list for the month and see what I was ticking off. I built my reading nook, which is a massive thing. I lived through this massive ice storm where we had no power. Crazy, but it was actually really cool. It was kind of a cool experience. I think Jake and I did a really good job. It's kind of like a good memory looking back on it, so yeah, that's interesting. Another thing, just as a memory, it's definitely started to feel a lot more like spring. The snow has melted. I will probably write that in my accomplishments. Not that it's an accomplishment, but again, just like memories and good stuff from the month. We explored Manotick, which is a town in Ottawa, which I really enjoyed, and there is a vlog coming out of that. I also made butter for the first time, which I've never made butter from scratch. I'm definitely in my like making things from scratch, like homestead era at the minute, so I've been making a ton of things totally from scratch in the past month or so. Yeah, that's all I can think of just for my phone. Just good to start off with something positive. I already feel so much better. Okay, it's something not so fun. We're gonna look back at my goals from April. I've been in a real funk with goals. I need to first of all look back at my goals from the beginning of the year, split them up a bit better, and also just in general with monthly goal setting, I think I want to be a bit more intentional with it. Most of my goals are just goals that I've missed out from January, that moved to February, that moved to March, and now April. Although they're all things I obviously want to accomplish. Like, I don't need a list of 10 things that are basically just a to-do list. Like, goals should inspire you, and that's what I want to work on in May. And I knew this when I was setting my April goals. I was like, these don't feel inspiring. Get out of bed before 10 a.m. I haven't totally been doing this, but I have definitely been waking up earlier than I was last month, so I'm not going to tick that off the list, but I know I've made work towards it. Make a bullet journal page about hormonal phases. I've done the research for this, but I haven't put it in my journal, but it also isn't quite the end of April yet. That's really just like something on a to-do list rather than a goal, because I have been doing research about it. I just haven't put it into my bullet journal. I'm probably going to tick that off by the actual end of April. Do my Notion renovation. I have been looking at inspiration for this, but I have not actually completed this yet. Again, that's more of like a to-do. This isn't a goal. It is something I need to massively do. My Notion is the same as it was in my second year of university. I've just kind of been adding to it, and it just isn't very intuitive or productive to my lifestyle at the minute. Okay, this one actually is a goal because I've been putting off applying for my SIN number, which is like my social insurance number, national insurance number in Canada. I applied for it ages ago, and for some reason, I think one of the photos I sent in didn't upload, so it got rejected, and I've been meaning to redo it for ages. So I have done this. Finished my reading bullet journal setup. I'm like so close to finishing this. I was like almost done. There's this one set of stickers that I bought in Korea and I cannot find them, and it's just meant I haven't wanted to do like a bunch of pages because I feel like I can't do that page if I don't have the stickers. I'm just gonna move on and do it without the stickers because I can't find them, and I need to stop procrastinating. I wanted to finish decorating the living room and finish decorating the bedroom. Again, with goals, like I'm not quite sure what I meant by that when I said it. Like in my head, I know what I meant. It just felt very unachievable. I don't know what I was thinking. The rooms are nice. They're decorated somewhat. I mean, they're pretty blank as you can see, but they're very livable and they're nice and they're neat now. And I guess I would like half tick those off, especially the living room one. I feel like the living room is done without like maybe some extra touches that you just get from living in it. I would say the bedroom is like semi-done. We've got the lights and everything. I think in my head I wanted to do some like art for the walls, which I still do want to do. I need to like be more specific about my goals because like I think I'm gonna tick off the living room one, not the bedroom one. Organized closet. I did do this. This was the biggest problem for so long. I just had all my clothes on the floor from boxes and suitcases from moving, and I needed to build my dresser and hang everything up. I have done this. Post 25 TikToks. I did this in March. I'm gonna look at my TikTok now. I don't think I did this in April. I've also felt like a bit disillusioned with TikTok, and then I just feel like in terms of direction and in terms of like figuring stuff out, I haven't like known which direction to go in. I was recently listening to Busy Blooming, which is, I think her name's Tess Barkley, her podcast. It definitely gave me some inspiration. So especially with TikTok, YouTube, I feel like I know what I'm doing. TikTok, I do not, but there is some good content over there. Let's count how many I did post. 1, 2, 3, 15, 16. So I posted 16 TikTok, which is still really good, but I did not complete that goal. I think I also need to do some brainstorming about content specifically for TikTok. I want to finish one non-fiction book. I did not do that. I am going to do this in May though. I want to look into anxiety reducing habits, which I did do. However, I think looking into the habits about reducing anxiety made me more anxious. Don't know why. Seems redundant, but I think rather than just doing a bunch of research, I'm just going to work on implementing these into a routine, which I'll talk about later. I did do this though, and I made a bullet journal page about it. I wanted to write consistently. I've been getting really into writing, and I do think I have been doing this, not necessarily in terms of a schedule. I want to put it in more of a schedule or routine or more of a planned way, but I've just been incorporating it into my days a lot more, and I've been super proud of it. And I wanted to post 8 YouTube videos, so I did not do that, but I did post more than 4, and I'm saying did because I should have by the end of the month, but right now I think I've only posted 4. I don't know, I need to look back at it. Actually, looking through these goals, it's not as bad as I thought, but I need to just rejig this whole thing. Let's get into some prompts now. So I want to talk about what has been working and what hasn't been working, and normally I'd start with a positive, but I think we need to get the negative out of the way because there has been a lot that has not been working. So first of all, habit tracking. I've habit tracked since I started my bullet journal. I've been like developing my habit tracking system, and I still love habit tracking. I don't know, it's just the way my routine's been working, and I do want to get back into a routine where I am looking at my journal every day, where I'm filling that out every day. Just the system I'm in at the minute, it isn't working because I keep falling behind and then just spending ages trying to remember if I've done habits. So what I want to focus on is more routine than individual habits and trying to tick that off. In terms of like having a habit tracking page in my bullet journal, for right now, I think I'm just going to step away from that until I get back into a routine. What hasn't been working is having a big long list of goals that is more like a to-do list, and especially right now they're on my Notion on my goals page, which I only look at when I am goal setting, so I need to put them somewhere where I am looking. The next thing is be more intentional about my goal setting, because unintentional goal setting has not been working, and in general a lot of these things that haven't been working have led to feeling stagnant, and feeling stagnant has not been working. And then the other thing, which is like just part of my routine, is staying up late. Part of it is because I'm really into my books recently. I mean, I'm always into books, but I've been particularly enthralled by a couple series I've been reading, and I've been up till like 3 a.m. and it's messing with my sleep schedule obviously, and then it's messing with when I wake up. It's snowballing. I think something I do want to incorporate into my routine is like when it hits a certain time, even if I'm not tired, I'm like, I'm gonna get ready for bed. I think this starts with like when I have lunch. I've been getting to this point where I'm having lunch at like 3 p.m. and then I'm not having dinner till like 9, 10, and then I'm not sleeping till like 1 or 2 a.m. Today I really did try to have lunch at 12. I think I probably had it at 1, but I want to push lunch lunch to 12, dinner to like 6, 7, and then I want to be in bed by 11. Just staying up late I think is one of the root causes of what's not working. What has been working, routines. The days where I do have a routine and the things that I am in a routine of doing, like writing, have been working super well. So I want to focus on that. The other thing that has been working, visual progress trackers. For some reason, they've just been clicking in my brain more than like habit trackers. And in terms of this, I mean, like, say I want to post 25 TikToks. It's like a thing where I color in every time I post a TikTok. I need to like finesse it a little bit. I do want to incorporate some things where I can visually color it in. More like a progress tracker. It's just working with my brain right now. Getting fresh air, opening windows, enjoying nature. This has been working. Our new house has tons of lovely windows and I've just been enjoying sitting with the windows open, watching all the birds. I've been putting birdseed out. That has been great. And then also we've been growing plants, which is another thing which is working. I bought some Garaba daisies. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. We've also been growing tomatoes and I've been growing some cat grass. Just all that kind of nature stuff. It's definitely been working. And then another thing is I've really just been enjoying writing and journaling. So both creative writing and then just like journaling kind of writing. Definitely working. Definitely want to incorporate more of that. Also another thing that's been working is getting organized, and that's also sort of like, I guess, part of this reset routine, except I kind of did it like end of last week. So I'm just loving having a bit of a more clean space. I'm going to take the information that we have put together, talking about my last month, talking about some prompts to like come up with what I need to do next, consider what we've spoken about, brainstorm some goals for May. I will come back and tell you my goals. Hi guys, so I know the lighting's a bit weird. It's quite a bit later at night, so I just want to jump back in. I just finished brainstorming some of my goals and I feel pretty good about them. So we're going to talk about them real quick and then we're going to jump back to me earlier because I have some monthly favorites for you guys. If we look here, this is kind of like what my goals pages look like. I made this page on Notion. I really want to update my Notion, but we've got my goals here, statuses, goals, and I want to do it Q1. A lot of these Q1 goals have moved into Q2. I just haven't updated it yet. I've got this really fun progress bar, which I really like. So I had a look at my yearly goals, kind of get some inspiration, and I really want to work my vision board, which I think will really help me get inspired for the rest of the year. I had 14 goals in April. Like I said, it felt just too much like a to-do list. So I have 8 goals in May, which is still a lot. There's still a little bit to-do listy, but they're definitely things I'm more passionate about or are going to be a bit more inspiring. First of all, I really want to work on my vision board. Like I said, one of my goals is to get more inspired, so this has to do with that. I also want to finish The Defining Decade. I've been reading that on and off for months and I think I can finish it next month, and I really want to. I think that will help with my goal of reading more non-fiction, help me get more inspired by reading some non-fiction, and then also once I finish that book I can move on to other non-fiction, because right now I'm not picking up any more non-fiction because I'm reading that one and I need to actually read it. I've got my cup of tea here. I'm having a raspberry and pomegranate tea. It's from Twinings. It's so good. My next goal is to write for 25 days. This is kind of like one of those progress bar goals where I'm going to put a progress bar in my bullet journal and color it in every time I write. I wanted to do it every day, but I think giving myself some leeway and sort of some grace with that goal will be very useful. And then I want to post 20 TikToks. I have 20 instead of 25, which was my goal for the past 2 months, because I really want to post more quality on TikTok. And then I want to post 6 YouTube videos. I have more than 6 planned out for May, but again, giving myself grace with the goal. I want to make a plan for all the art I want to make for the house. I'm not sure if you can see my walls are pretty empty and I have so much I want to do art-wise. I want to make a bunch of things. I've been seeing a bunch on Pinterest and TikTok. So I actually want to plan that out because I think last month I had a plan to, well, a goal to decorate certain rooms, and I think actually planning it out is going to make that goal a lot more achievable. I then also want to make an ideal daily routine, probably like a page on my Notion or in my bullet journal, and then also doing a bunch of research on it because I've been feeling very stagnant and out of routine, like I've been saying. And then my last goal in my yearly goals, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in some of my like New Year videos, I really want to make a Etsy store this year where I can do some digital downloads for you guys, like planning downloads, maybe stuff like this goals page, Notion template, goal setting, journal prompts, all that kind of stuff I talk about on my channel. I think having an Etsy store where I could share those with you guys and make them look really nice and things you can either print out or use digitally, I would love to create that. So those are my goals for May. Let's jump back to my monthly favorites. This is me before I know what my goals are, so we're jumping back in the past for me to quickly tell you my favorites, because I just want to end off this vlog on a really nice note to tell you about what I've been loving this month. First of all is my book nook. I have a video coming out very soon about me building my book nook, but I'll just put a couple clips in here. I I've just loved having a space dedicated to reading, and I've just been using the space a ton. It feels very comfortable, very homely, and I've just been loving it. The next thing is Mighty Patch pimple patches. I just get them off Amazon. They're pretty reasonably priced, but they do the job so well, and I've used other pimple patches that don't work as well, and so considering the price and how well they work, I do definitely think they're worth it. And I'm not sure if you can see down here, you probably can't because I use the patches. I had some really bad pimples. I used the pimple patches on them, but I had to wait for them to come from Amazon, so I had a couple days dealing with them on my own, and then one day with the patches completely, I don't know what the word is, like sucked out the gunk basically. I don't know how it works. I want to look at the science behind it, and again, I have pretty clear skin. It's just the occasional like flare up, couple pimples, and it's almost always on my chin, so they work really well for that kind of thing. If this like sounds reminiscent of you, I highly recommend the pimple patches. They'll be on my Amazon store along with anything else I'm just like loving. I try to put any like things that I'm buying on Amazon on my storefront and like organize it in case you guys want to see what I'm using. Only things I've like tried and tested. They're not just like everything I buy. Want to see any stuff I'm enjoying, you can always check out my storefront. And actually after this, going to film a TikTok of me making lavender syrup. But like I said, I've been really in my like cooking from scratch era. I made lavender syrup for the first time because I've used the Monin one before, and I love Monin, and especially their lavender syrup. I had it in the UK and I was gonna buy it here, and really it's quite well priced. I was just gonna get it, but Oak Barn sells lavender and I have sugar and water, and I made my own lavender syrup. So yeah, check out my TikTok if you want to see how I did that. It is like the most floral spring summer thing you've ever tasted. I've been doing lavender syrup with matcha, lavender syrup with coffee. I've been using the Starbucks blonde roast as well, which is also definitely a favorite. And while I'm on this coffee spiel, the Keurig My Cup, which is like a reusable coffee cup that you put your own grounds in for the Keurig machine, game changer. It's so much cheaper, first of all, than buying the Keurig cups, and also I get to pick which roast I put in it, and I've been really into that, which is so cool. Obviously I've mentioned a couple times I've been really back into writing. I'm working on like a high fantasy novel at the minute, very early stages. I've had this idea for years and like I'm properly getting into it. This feels good to be creative and like working on something like that. And then my final favorite is going to be a book. It is Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey. This book was just incredible. It totally surpassed my expectations. I've heard really mixed reviews about it, but a lot of booktubers that I watch who have like similar taste to me have been really enjoying it. Spring summer is the perfect time to read it, and it was a total 5 stars. I also annotated it. I really related to like Julian, the male main character, a lot. He's very into like planning and gets stressed out when things don't go to plan. That is so relatable. So I love that book. Well, thank you for watching my May reset. Hopefully you're feeling more centered and reset for May. I'm definitely feeling slightly better. I'm gonna feel so much better once I finish my goals, which you guys saw earlier. If you did like this video, please do like, please do comment. I'd love to hear what are your goals for May. I'm totally in need of inspiration. And yeah, I just hope you have a great month ahead, and I'd love to see you guys next time if you did want to subscribe.